Well, chapter 150 is here, and Kana fans should be happy because it's looking like Kana might actually make a comeback and win Aqua for herself. Even Aqua seems like he's willing to let that happen. At least, it will depend on a certain decision he has to make. But yeah, I'm gonna just get started with the chapter. The chapter starts with Aqua this time, and he's actually talking to Goro now, or at least he sees the spirit of Goro inside of him as he talks. Aqua is actually questioning why Goro isn't pushing for revenge that much anymore. Goro used to keep telling Aqua in his head to get revenge, that he'd make the person who killed Ai suffer the same way and stab them repeatedly with a knife, making them regret they were ever born. If that's actually how Aqua planned to kill Hikaru, then it's actually pretty brutal, even more brutal than the way Ai died. But that's actually probably just one of the childish ideas he mentioned having back then. Goro replies though by saying he thought he had lost everything. He believed all the people he loved were out of his reach, like Ai and Serena. It was sad and frustrating, so he found meaning in living through revenge. But then he learned Serena was alive, through Ruby. Now she has become an idol, which has always been her dream. She's able to smile happily without suffering from that illness. For Goro, he feels like there's no greater salvation than that. Aqua agrees, and it's like Ruby is really what saved Goro in this life. Another reason to live besides her revenge. You could say both of them saved each other basically, since Ruby was able to focus on her dreams instead of revenge after learning that Aqua was Goro. And Goro tells Aqua now that it's only a matter of time before he disappears, becoming an old, faint wound, a remnant of a distant memory of Aqua's past life. It's kinda sad to think about, and it's really starting to enforce the fact that Aqua and Goro are starting to become two different people. Aqua will soon just be his own person, a regular teenager, instead of having the mind of a 30-year-old. But before all of that, Goro tells Aqua the only thing left to decide is what he wants to do next. Aqua can either choose to kill Hikaru, or enjoy his youth with the girl he likes. Aqua can do whatever he likes. However, Goro then warns Aqua he'll never let him make a move on Serena for as long as he lives, even though he's already dead, which is kinda funny. Serena's too good of a girl for a playboy like Aqua to mess with apparently, and Aqua just says Goro is being overprotective, which is funny coming from the Siscon himself. It's kinda weird but funny to see him sorta arguing with himself, while his past life. Aqua does understand though, and explains that the person Ruby likes is specifically Goro. Ruby just sees the illusion of Goro inside of Aqua, which is a good way to explain their relationship actually. In the end, Aqua Oshino is just Ruby Oshino's twin brother. For Aqua, she's his only precious little sister in the world. That's the only thing that matters. With that, it seems Aqua has completely destroyed the hopes and dreams of every Ruby x Aqua shipper. Kana has sacrificed herself in the last chapter, and now Ruby's sibling zoned. That means the only one left standing is none other than Kana. Even Goro thinks Aqua likes Kana, the one who is the genius child actor. But then even Aqua questions why Kana. Like bruh, even he seems confused about why he likes Kana for a second. Goro then mentions that as Aqua Oshino, he has romantic feelings that are appropriate to his age. Basically saying it's alright for Aqua to have feelings towards girls of his age without it being weird. Goro then talks more about Kana, mentioning that despite her being arrogant, she's a hard worker. Despite having a sharp tongue, Kana is also quite sensitive. It's kinda neat how Goro mentions Kana's negative traits here, and spins them to positives. You can really see the good in her that most people can't. Goro even knows Aqua has always liked Kana's strong, straightforward gaze. As he says that, we even get a flashback to Kana's first performance in Bikomachi, when she pointed at Aqua, saying she'll be his only star. And it's like that moment was foreshadowing Aqua truly falling for her. Goro knows Kana's interested in Aqua, and so does Aqua actually, as he literally raises his voice to say he knows Goro is right. Aqua would indeed succeed if he just made a single move. It's ultimately up to Aqua though, and Goro tells Aqua he can step down from the role of Goro now. He's free to love someone, and I think those were some amazing lines. Like this whole time, Aqua's actually been playing the role of Goro, hyper-focused on revenge, instead of living his own life. And so, Goro passes the knife to Aqua, symbolizing the passing of his will. How Aqua uses the knife will now be completely up to him. Then Aqua wakes up, showing us that might have all just been a dream. Or was it? There's a chance that could have been the last we've seen of Goro. So now it's really just up to Aqua to decide if he truly wants to get revenge, or be with Kana. Although I will say it would kinda suck if all this build up for revenge ends like this, with no payoff for Aqua. But I doubt that's gonna happen. It's trending in the direction of Aqua not actually killing Hikaru, but getting revenge in a more subtle way that allows him to stay with Kana and Ruby. I can actually see Hikaru just letting himself be exposed for killing Yura when it's all said and done, allowing the twins to get their revenge without killing Hikaru, and then having him suffer with life in prison or something. Then Aqua can live his life with Kana, who we actually cut to now. Kana's literally sitting in the same position we once saw Kana in. Interesting callback, which kinda makes sense since Kana's remembered the rest of the convo she had with Akane the other day. She had tried telling Akane that she doesn't need her help, until Akane warned her that she'd better make up her mind fast before Akane herself changes her mind. Akane then begins yapping about wanting to be with the boy for Christmas or something, so if Kana takes forever, Akane might just decide to get back with Aqua. Of course, that triggers Kana a bit. This does suck to say though, but at this point, I don't think Akane even has a chance to get back with Aqua now, even if she did try, since he's thinking about Kana now, and knows getting with Akane would hurt her. Still, it does depend on if Aqua chooses love or revenge though. But after thinking about all that, Kana knows Akane understands her really well, by saying the things that would hurt Kana, like if she got back with Aqua. Kana then begins wondering what would happen if she did go out with him before thinking about her past with Aqua. At first, Kana hated him when they were children, feeling like she lost Aqua during the acting scene made her frustrated, but he was also cute to her. It was a memory that always stuck with Kana as she grew up. Then when Kana met Aqua again in high school, Aqua was still clinging stubbornly to this world, just like her. Kana could tell Aqua was putting in effort, while being on her side, and putting himself in her shoes. It was just fun talking to him, and it made her heart thrilled. The rival she had been chasing since she was little was so cool and wonderful. Then we see the moment Kana truly felt for Aqua, and the joy she felt. That scene back then had crazy foreshadowing. Kana figures Aqua doesn't understand though, and questions if Aqua is looking at her earnestly. Even though the intensity may not be the same, Kana questions if Aqua looks at her with a certain amount of interest. If only Kana knew that Aqua once did way back then. With that in mind, Kana reaches for a locked phone. Then we see Aqua look at his own phone, realizing he got a text from Kana, asking if he's free on Saturday. Kana's finally taken the initiative, and the chapter ends with a perfectly drawn page of Kana waiting for an answer, finally realizing she's seriously in love. It really seems like there's a good chance Aqua and Kana will finally get together now. And Kana is no longer a threat, and Aqua confirmed in this chapter he only sees Ruby as his precious little sister. And now I do believe Aqua will meet with Kana on that Saturday to test the waters. It'll help him make the choice. Could he actually be happy with Kana instead of pursuing revenge? And I actually think there's a chance that something happens when they meet up, or around that time, that will cause Aqua to choose revenge. Hear me out, because like maybe Hikaru appears, possibly doing something to Kana, or Aqua just surprises all of us and ruthlessly shuts down Kana for good, showing he's completely consumed by revenge. Of course, the only other option is Aqua chooses to be with Kana, letting the movie handle the rest of the revenge, and they live happily ever after. Aqua could have written these recent chapters with that in mind. Literally both Goro and Akane are being used to push Aqua and Kana together, you could say. Personally, I think Aqua will still pursue revenge somehow, at least if the future interviews are still canon, that is. According to Aqua's interview, he literally says he won't love anyone. If someone loves him, they won't get anything back, and the only ones who shall fall for him are those okay with that. To Aqua, acting is still a form of revenge at that point in time. So it really depends on when exactly the interview takes place, or if it's even canon anymore. If it is canon, that perhaps Kana already explained that she's fine with Aqua not giving her anything back at that point. Although that would just be a toxic relationship, which isn't even fair to Kana. But yeah, I think a lot rides on that future interview, when it took place, or if it's even canon anymore in the first place. Kana could still end up with Aqua, but perhaps not as soon as we think. What do y'all think though? Will Aqua and Kana confess their love for each other when they meet? And will Aqua continue to pursue revenge? Plus, do Ruby and Akane even have a chance anymore? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching. Please drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I got some more Oshi content here too that you can check out. Peace.